Mike Martins. I want to send a very important message to my friends living down under in Australia. This is very important. I'm not sure who got this or who's getting this or who's receiving this information, but please share this video and get it out there because this is actually a very big deal. As the whole world looms over this oil crisis we're going through, or is it going to be another oil embargo with Iran and all this stuff and price of gas going to fly through the roof like it did back in the 70s? Well, something worse is happening beneath the seams, and our friends at Zero Hedge have gotten wind of it. China's big brother, Social Control, arrives in Australia. So what are we talking about? The social report cards that they have there in China, where they're taking face identifications of everybody and then putting them on a score, where if you are a bad citizen, you can't get on a plane or a train, and you can't leave the country, you can't open a bank account, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And it's getting worse. Australia is preparing to debut the version of the Chinese regime's high-tech system for monitoring and controlling its citizens. The launch, to take place in the northern city of Darwin, would include monitor people's activity via their cell phones. Oh no. So a cell phone's a powerful piece of technology because it just records everything. You don't know what's recording. You don't know what they're recording. You don't know what they're filming. They could triangulate and position where you are. They could triangulate and position everything that you do. Man, what you order, what you're looking for, and they could even use it as a like a scope radar, where it actually picks up other electronics in the house to actually connect to. So the new system is based on monitoring program in Shenzhen, China, where the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, is testing its social credit system. Officials on Darwin Council travel to Shenzhen, according to NT News, have a chance to see how exactly their smart technology works prior to be fully rolled out. So people in Darwin are going over to China and they're selling out the Australians and bringing in technology that's not necessary to day-to-day lives for people living their lives and getting ahead in life and trying to make it. You know, and in all places of Darwin, right? Darwin, they've already constructed poles fitting in with speakers, cameras, Wi-Fi, according to the NT News, to monitor people, their movements around the city, the website they visited, and what apps they use. The monitoring will be done mainly by artificial intelligence, but will alert authorities based on set triggers. Oh my God. Just as in China, the surveillance system is being branded as Smart City Program, while Australia officials claim its operations are beginning. They've announced its functions and monitor cell phone activity in virtual fences that will trigger alerts if people cross them. We'll be getting sent an alarm saying there's a person in the area that you've put on virtual fence around. That you've put a virtual fence around. Boom. An alert goes out to whoever authority, wherever it is, our police, to say, look at the camera. 5. Wow, said Josh Sattler, a Darwin Council General Manager of Innovation, Growth, and Development Services, according to NT News. The nature of the virtual fences and what type of activities will sound an alarm still isn't being made clear. The system is being promoted as mostly Benjin? Sattler said it will tell the government where the people are using Wi-Fi and what they're using Wi-Fi for. Are they watching YouTube, etc.? All these bits of information we can share with business. We can let businesses know, hey, 80% of the people actually use the Instagram within this area of the city between these hours. So what? Who cares? The CPP's Smart City Social Credit System is able to monitor each person in the society, tracking every element of their lives, including their friends, online purchases, daily behavior, and other information. Assigned each person as a citizen score that determines their level of freedom in society. The tool is a core piece of CCP's program to monitor, persecute dissidents, including religious believers, and those who are opposing the ruling communist system. Chinese human rights lawyer Tang Biao, a visiting scholar of New York University, described the social credit system as a new form of tyranny meant to reactivate the CPP's totalitarian and hold society. Why don't they put these cameras on our elected officials to make sure they're not screwing around? And we as citizens will watch them to make sure they're not taking flights and expensive meals and stuff using taxpayers' dollars. I mean, what? In the past, there was a Nazi totalitarianism and Mao Zedong's totalitarian system, but totalitarian system powered by the internet and contemporary technology has not existed before, Tang said in a recent interview. The CCP is now taking first steps to build such a thing in totalitarian system by using credit ratings and monitoring, recording everyday detail in people's daily life, which is frightening. Now pay attention to this. The regime isn't interested in keeping the technology within its borders. Within! So anything you buy that comes from China could be monitoring you and everything you're doing. Exporting the system and its China model to the totalitarian government as a service of its One Belt, One Road program. When the CPP Canada, the Chinese builds its infrastructure abroad, its surveillance and social control programs are part of the package. Yep, that's Silk Road. In Darwin, there have been a push to jump aboard the CCP's program. The local officials made a friendship deal with the Unix district in Guangzhou, China. In 2018, according to John Garrick, a senior lecturer of Charles Darwin University, the deal was branded by Chinese media Park President Xi Jinping's signature Belt Road Initiative. That followed the previous deal between Darwin and the CCP, which the city signed 99-year lease of the port of Darwin to a Chinese company, to the CCP, and the Chinese owner, Yi Chang, has referred to the deal as being part of the One Belt Road. So it sounds to me like they're renegotiating the deal as they go along, and that's what happens when you want to deal with the Chinese Communist Party. They just like to renegotiate the deal as they go along as they see fit. The deal also should raise concern for U.S. Marines stationed in Darwin under the Obama-era pivot to the Pacific about whether the CCP is able to monitor data collecting on cell phones from its system in the area under the 2011 deal between the United States and Australia, and the U.S. troops will be there until 2040. And a similar concern, the decision of Australia to begin implementing the CCP's program for totalitarian social control presents a major development in the CCP's China model push. As the Epoch of Times has reported, the CCP views Australia as a testing ground for programs it wants to spread to the West. After Australia comes Canada and the United States in an apparent imitation of Mao Zedong's strategy to surround the city with the countryside. So guys, this is a big deal. You're going to start seeing channels like mine go down. You're going to start seeing the poop hit the fan, and people that are basically selling or saying certain things at home and not thinking that they're in their privacy of their own home will get a knock at 2 o'clock in the morning stating that they have to come with them. What is happening, and we are pushing towards this. We are losing one freedom at a time. Guys, I know my stuff is very amateur. I could barely read, but I'm asking that you get this message out there. There's not a lot of people out there taking the risk. You know, I have a family and children. That's why I'm taking the risk, because I am scared for them. And it is very crucial that we get messages like this out so people are warned forthhand. And especially when you're doing business with China, it's very dangerous when it comes to dealing with a regime that doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand freedom of the soul, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, which we're losing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Mike Martin's here, and if you want to support the transmission, share one of my videos. Thanks for watching.